You're standing there, and suddenly you feel awkward. Nothing happened. No one said anything. No one is looking at you strangely. In fact, most people aren't even paying attention. And yet your body tightens a little. You become aware of your posture, your face, your hands. You start wondering, am I standing weird? Do I look uncomfortable? Do people notice me? But logically, you know they probably don't. So why does the feeling still show up? Why does awkwardness appear even when no one is judging you? The answer begins with something your brain is always doing in the background. It's predicting. Your brain is constantly trying to anticipate how you are perceived, not just what is happening, but what could be happening. This is part of what psychologists call predictive processing. Instead of waiting for real feedback, your brain creates internal simulations. It asks, if someone were looking at me right now, what would they think? And then it responds to that imagined scenario as if it were real. So the awkwardness you feel isn't always caused by actual judgment. It's caused by predicted judgment, a mental model of how you might be seen. There's also another layer. Humans evolved in environments where being watched mattered. In small social groups, attention meant evaluation, and evaluation could affect belonging. So the brain developed a system that monitors visibility, how noticeable you are, how exposed you might be. When your awareness suddenly turns towards yourself, your brain interprets it as, I might be visible right now. And visibility triggers caution, even if no one is actually watching. This is closely related to something called the spotlight effect, the tendency to believe that others are noticing you more than they really are. Your brain acts like there's a spotlight on you. But in reality, most people are focused on themselves, their own thoughts, their own concerns, their own internal world. They are not analyzing your every movement, but your brain still prepares for that possibility because it evolved to minimize social risk. Now here's where it gets even more interesting. Sometimes the awkwardness isn't about others at all. It's about you observing yourself. Your attention shifts inward. Instead of experiencing the moment directly, you start watching yourself inside the moment. It's like you become both the actor and the audience. Psychologists refer to this as heightened self-consciousness. And when this happens, normal behavior can start to feel unnatural. Simple actions, standing, walking, speaking, suddenly feel like they need to be performed correctly. But here's the problem. The more you monitor yourself, the less natural your behavior feels. And the less natural it feels, the more awkward you become. This creates a loop. You feel slightly awkward, you start observing yourself, your movements feel less natural, the awkwardness increases. But the loop didn't start because something was wrong. It started because your brain shifted attention from the outside world to yourself. There's also an emotional layer behind this. People who are more reflective or self-aware often experience this more strongly because their brains are better at simulating perspectives. You can imagine how you look from the outside. You can analyze your own behavior in real time, which means your internal observer is more active. But here's the important truth. That awkward feeling doesn't mean you're doing something wrong. It means your brain is trying to manage uncertainty. It's trying to make sure you're socially safe, even in situations where safety isn't actually threatened. And the moment your attention returns to the environment, to what's happening around you instead of inside your head, the feeling often fades. Not because the situation changed, but because your brain stopped observing itself so intensely. So the next time you feel awkward for no clear reason, pause for a moment. Notice where your attention is. Are you focused on the world around you, or are you focused on yourself inside that world? Because most of the time, awkwardness doesn't come from being judged. It comes from imagining that you might be.
and responding to that imagination as if it were real. The strange part is, nothing actually needs to change in the outside world. Sometimes the only shift is internal, from watching yourself to simply being there.